Hello everybody and welcome back to the Yorkshire Bike Mechanics YouTube channel. My name's Dave and I hope you're all well. Today, I'm excited today because we're going to be doing something a little bit different, something that we don't normally do, but it's probably something that you've done before, but I thought you might find it useful. So, what we're going to do is we're going to build from a box a brand new Specialized Levo. Now it's not mine, it's a customer's. I wish it were mine. But it's a customer's. So what I thought we'd do is let's go drag this baby in. So here she is. A brand new Specialized Levo in a lovely cardboard box. So what I wanted to do, just basically go through and we'll build this together and we'll video it and we'll show you how it's done. I know you're thinking, God, it's a simple job to build a bike, but not everybody will find it easy. And you'd be surprised how many people we get ringing up saying, I've bought a bike, it's in a box, I ain't got a clue how to build it up, will you build it up for us? And so we do quite a few. This one's quite special though, because I love Specialized stuff, especially electric stuff. So I thought, first of all, before I show you what's inside, the first thing that you need to do, if your delivery man's delivered this for you, is to read the label on the end of the box to make sure it's the right bike, even before you let the delivery man go. So check it's the bike that you've ordered. If it is, then that's brilliant. So the first thing that you would want to do is, and I would probably want to do the same, is I want to rip this lid open and I want to check what's inside that box to make sure that I've got my bike and not a piece of furniture or something by mistake. So if you notice, some manufacturers, what they'll do is they'll staple this lid down with some really thick copper staples. A lot of manufacturers do it and they're really good at holding these thick cardboard boxes together. So what you'd likely to do is you get your fingers and you get it inside that lid and you pull them staples up and you'd open it up and you'd think, oh shit, there's my bike, brilliant, which is good. But then what you do is you grab hold of your bike and you start to pull stuff out, but you forget that there's staples that you've undone sticking out of here. And so many people have done this and pulled the bike out and the lid's flat back down and scratched all the frame with these copper staples. So yeah, put your hands in and rip it open, but take the staples out before you actually pull anything out of this box. So here we are, we've taken the lid off, we've taken the staples out, okay? And these boxes here, need to double check because sometimes they contain stuff, pedals and stuff like that. There's nothing in that one. That can go. This one here just basically holds the back wheel in place to make sure it's not sliding about in the box. That can go. What we need to do is we need to lift this baby out very carefully. Okay, we notice that the stuff inside is taped together. Okay, the wheel's been delivered separate in a separate box, so I've got that just through there. So let's lift this out of this box. Okay, and we'll just put that to one side. I'll just slide this box out of the way. Okay, there we are. A brand new bike. Okay, so I'm going to put my foot over these forks at front so it doesn't drop on the floor. Okay, so what we need to do now basically is we need to take all this wrapping off. It does have a dropper post in it, so I think for now, until we take this dropper post out and we can put it in the stand, we'll find a little bit of cardboard just to stick under forks, just to protect them from any damage. So let's have a look. I've stupidly thrown that cardboard away and I could have used that under forks. Not to worry, I've got some here. Okay, there is a little bit of foam under end at forks. so it's not too bad. Okay, so let's try and lift this bike into its stand. As soon as I get this seat off, we'll just undo that a little bit. I'll save that because I'll put it back if I can. That's it. We'll find the lever on the handlebar. There it is. Okay. So, the one thing that we need to do before we put this bike in stand, if it has a dropper post, is we need to make sure it's fully extended. Okay. We don't want to put this bike in a stand with this dropper post part way down. It needs to be fully up as far as it goes. We need to double check this bolt here just to make sure that that's nipped up, because we don't want to lift it up and find out that it's going to fall through. That's fine. Okay, I'll just get my jaws ready on the stand and I'll just move your camera to one side and I'll lift it up. Ooh. Okay, just tighten that up. Now, if you've noticed, we've got plastic on these jaws. So, okay, so let's move this back now. Get this camera back up. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at that baby. I love new bikes. New bikes in boxes, my favourite thing. It doesn't take much for me to get excited. Well, it does actually, about £6 grand. So, that's that out the way. So what we're going to do is we're going to gradually take these bits of protection off. It's handy if you've got a camera around, because if you spot any imperfections in the paintwork or damage or anything like that, or marks that you're not particularly happy with, then you need to take a photograph of those marks and also the bike at this particular stage as well. It does help if you're going to claim on the warranty for it. So let's take this one off first. Okay, get a pair of scissors. Don't use a Stanley knife, because you will end up scratching something with a Stanley knife. Okay, you can throw that in the bin for recycling. Okay, just cut this off around here. A little bit of tape there, but I think it's just, it's just packaging tape. Okay, how exciting is this? Okay, take that out. Okay, so we'll take these off as well. There's a bit of string that's just holding this pedal up to one side, so we can take that off, put that in the bin. There's one at the other side. Do the same with that one. That's that in the bin. Okay, take these off. So we're just basically unwrapping it, to be honest. At the same time, just checking it for damage. We've got a derailleur protector there to protect the derailleur and the cable. Okay, so that can come off in a bit. Okay, tie wrap there off. So what I'll do is I'll just continue to take all this off, and when it's all off I'll come back and just turn the camera off for a little bit, and I'll come back in a second when I've got it all off. So we've now got to the stage where all the packing and everything is off the bike. Okay, the only bits that I've left on is the forks, the handlebar ends, the grips that's covering protecting the brakes, and other stuff on them bars as well. So what we need to do now is, and I've taken the front off the stem and just put that to one side. This is quite an important part of build, because the manufacturers are relying on yourself, if you've got it delivered home and you're going to do this yourself, to make sure that these bars go on this stem correctly. If these bars are on properly, and you've not torqued them up right, and you're going belting down a hill, and something happens, then you're going to hurt yourself. So it's important that this bit's done right. So these are usually twisted, so we need to kind of get them in the right direction. First of all, let's just turn these round, see where we are. That's right, okay. And we can see that these cables and hoses are not restricted, so we'll just bob that in there. It doesn't have to be exactly where it needs to be, just so we can actually get this front cover back on, and just loosely get them into a position that's about right. You don't need to be exact at this point. You'll need to move them around to suit yourself. So while I'm doing that, I'll just say that we've had a stupid busy week again. Everybody's riding the bikes. It's so busy. But the big problem is parts. We cannot get parts at the minute. A lot of the 12-speed Eagle SRAM stuff you can't get. It's not in stock. Even at SRAM, it's not in stock. We're waiting back end of May, June, July. It's just a nightmare. Some Shimano stuff as well. It's really, really difficult to get. Tyres, they're difficult to get as well at the minute. So if you've got 12 speed on your bike, whether it's SRAM XG or whether it's Sunrace, or whether it's Shimano, you need to look after it for the minute, because there's none out there. So now that I've got that out of the way, okay, I'm just loosely fasten those in, and I'm just making sure that the gap at the top there is exactly the same as the gap at the bottom. Some stem manufacturers will write on the side that there's no gap, okay, which means that you obviously need to tighten that up with no gap in that particular place and leave the gap on the other side. This one it doesn't say nothing at all, so I'm going to equalize the gap. I'm just going to loosely just kind of put these where I think they might go, and then we can adjust them later on. Okay, I've kind of put them in the middle. So we need to torque these down to 4 Newton meters. Okay, and what I'll generally do is I'll normally torque them up now, even though they might not be in right position. And the reason why I do that is, if anything happens to me, I know this is stupid, this is my kind of my doom boy outlook on things. If anything happens to me tonight and my other son comes in here and says we need to sort this bike out, and passes it on, and I haven't tightened these up, then we're potentially in bother. I know that's a bit of a doom attitude, but this is the way I work. So we need 4 Newton meters. We need 4 Newton meters. We'll just basically evenly tighten these up until we get a click. That's it. Brill. Okay. So we'll do, well, we might as well double check these as well while we're at it, because they need to be 4 Newton meters. Yeah, they are, that's fine. Would normally PDI it once we've got it all together. So let's take this covering off these forks. Okay, so we've got this covering off the fork. Okay, we know that all that's non-restricted, that's fine. This is actually 11 speed, this one. SRAM. It's an XG cassette. 1150, I think it is. And these are SRAM code brakes. So it's a bit of a spec machine. It's a decent spec on it. We'll just take these grips off. These plastic covers, rather. Okay. So I usually find that manufacturers already put the back wheel in and then normally set the gears up, but I like to go through and just make sure that they're actually working and they're indexing nicely. And nothing's bent on the back. Okay. So all we need to do, Bobber's front wheeling. Okay. I'll double check to make sure that back one's tight. Okay. And we've now got a built-up bike. It didn't take long at all, basically. But just to recap, double check to make sure you get the bars on right. We'll lift it off. We need to put some air in tyres because there's not much air in tyres. Just make sure that's nice and straight. Okay, we'll need to adjust these bars as well, just to kind of get them in an ideal position, what I think might be useful for customer, and then he or she can actually adjust them themselves as soon as they get on the as soon as the tech delivery. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to power this up for the first time. I'm going to show you. Ready? Brill. Okay. First time ever. Brill. Right, so we'd all built up. The bike came in for Invisiframing as well, so we'll get on with that now and do that. I thought it'd be good to try and share the build with you, building it up out of a box. It's always nice to build a new bike up, so I wanted to share that with you. The other thing that we'll do before we let it go back to customer, we'll do a pre-delivery inspection on it. So we'll just go through it all just to make sure all bolts are tight and everything's aligned. We'll take it out for a test ride and just make sure that everything's working as it should do and the motor's working fine. The gears are all right when you jump on it. Set the suspension up, and basic things like that really. It's just a general PDI before it goes out to customer. So I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. I love new bikes. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and share, and I'll speak to you soon. Thank you. Bye.